Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is a great day for California's community college students, and it's because of you. You know, we've just had SB 705 heard in our first Senate committee, the Education Committee. So far, it has unanimous support. Some senators were attending other meetings. They will be at committee shortly, and I'm sure, having heard your testimony, many of them watched you on television, they will also be supporting SB 705. Now, why is it important? What does SB 705 do? As the folks behind me know, SB 705 takes the governor's budget proposal, which leaves out specific funding for DSPS, Disabled Student Services, and EOPS, funding for educationally needy or economically disadvantaged students. It takes any target of that money out of the budget, and instead what the governor's budget does is give flexibility to the community colleges to decide how to use their money. And I support flexibility, and I support community colleges using money as the needs arise. But we can't ignore the considerable needs of students with disabilities and EOPS students. We can't ignore that these programs have suffered 40% cuts in the last 4 or 5 years. We can't ignore the testimony. You all were so eloquent in the Education Committee, much more than I could possibly be. So we're challenging the governor to do what I know he knows is right. The governor's a good man. The governor said in his State of the State speech that treating people in unequal situations equally is not justice. And I've learned from the governor, my co-author, who I'll introduce shortly, we have learned from the governor to listen clearly to what he says. And we can't treat people equally who find themselves in unequal situations. And those with hurdles because of disabilities, those with hurdles because of their economic circumstance, they need additional assistance, and SB 705 provides that. Now, how do we do that? We're urging, the governor originally proposed paying back loans that community college had to take out over the very lean years, the last 5 years. He urges paying back those loans over the next 5 years. That's his deferral repayment plan. We say to the governor, if we just extend payments over 7 years instead of over 5 years, and by the way, 7 years is how long there'll be revenue available from Prop 30. If we extend payments that pay back over 7 years, that will free up about $50 million a year. We more than suggest, SB 705 demands that the $50 million be split evenly between DSPS and EOPS programs. Even though this is just a partial restoration, it is an important first step. And the successes that the students behind me testified to in committee, the successes they've had with the help of DSPS and the help of EOPS, are successes that are not only important for them and their families and their friends, but important for the entire state of California. And I'm happy to have with me today, I chair the Senate Budget Committee, the subcommittee on education funding. And when I had a Senate hearing on the governor's proposal, folks from DSPS and EOPS came to me in large numbers and explained why we needed to have a bill like SB 705. So I went to my counterpart in the state assembly, figuring it's much more important, carries a lot more clout when we talk to the governor's office if it's not just the Senate, but it's the entire legislature, the Senate and the Assembly, acting in unity, saying we need to fund students with disabilities, we need to fund EOPS programs, and we need to do it now. And I thank the chair of the Assembly, Subcommittee on Education Financing, for being my principal co-author, and for being here today in support. Susan Bonilla.
Well, thank you very much. It really is a pleasure to be here today. And I just want to thank all of the students who turned out. You guys are the ones that came year after year to the committees, and you have testified year after year, and you have made the case for what you're seeing today in this bill. And so you really deserve a round of applause for that. And also, yes, give yourself a round of applause. But also, you worked hard to pass Proposition 30. And Proposition 30 was the measure that was going to help stabilize funding. And so as we look at how should the monies of Proposition 30 be spent, we have a choice in front of us. And we're saying that in this bill, there is a priority to restoring, at least begin partially restoring, these very, very important programs. Yes, it's important to pay off the deferrals. We have a plan in the bill that says that will happen, that will be done. But these students can't wait. They need to be able to go to school today. They need to be able to go to school in September. They need to be able to finish the programs they've started. And we have more students coming into the system that need these supports. They can't wait 4 or 5 years. We must do this now. And so, yes. And we talk a lot about success. We talk a lot about the fact that we want our community colleges to be more and more successful and having our students do better and better in the community college setting. And what you see behind me today and in the audience today is really what I believe is a definition of successful students. Every student here, they know the power of education. They understand the doors that education will open for them. They understand the economic opportunity that will be made available to them because of education. And due to their determination, they really have stuck with this issue. And I believe that they will be successful, that we will be successful, and we will get SB 705 passed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Bonilla. And I also want to announce that the pro tem, the leader of the Senate, Darrell Steinberg, has signed on as a co-author of this bill as well. And it was largely at the urging of several people standing behind me today. And we've sent a co-author letter to the Speaker of the Assembly, John Perez, who is a very good person. And all you need to do is urge Speaker Perez, and he'll sign on too. And right now we've got 4 students who are going to speak to you, 2 from DSPS organizations and 2 who are served by EOPS. First, we have a former Sacramento City College student who now attends the University of San Francisco, Ruth Welland.
One more step. And one. Now move over to the microphone.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure for me to be here today to represent the students with disabilities all over the state of California. I am a recent graduate of Sacramento City College. When I started in 2006, I was on dialysis. I had recently lost my vision. I dialyzed 3 times a week, but I came to class. I did that until my body couldn't take it anymore. And in 2008, I received the miracle of a kidney pancreas transplant, for which I am truly grateful for every opportunity I'm given. Every day is a gift. I don't take my education for granted. I showed up to class and I put forth my best effort. But when you come to class and you are met with the challenges beyond your control, such as lack of funding for students like myself who have ambition and dreams of coming back and giving back to the state of California that has given me so much. And you come to class and you need your materials, or you need a scribe or a note taker or a tutor in my case for a math class, which is so difficult for many students. But for me, I need extra support. It's not that math is a difficult subject for me, but I can't do it by myself. And without that support, I'm set up for failure. And in 2011, I was taking a math course, and my tutor began working with me, and midway through the semester, I was getting an A in the class. My teacher would oftentimes call on me to solve problems in the classroom. And I was unfortunate that my tutor could not be paid, and being a struggling student himself, he had to find work elsewhere. And I struggled through the duration of the semester, going from math lab and tutoring centers and even professors' offices just to get my homework done. But I was driven by a desire to succeed, because I was nominated for the All-USA Coca-Cola Scholarship, which would open innumerable opportunities for me. And I wanted that opportunity. But because there was not enough funding in DSPS, that opportunity, I didn't make it to the final round. And being ambitious, I never gave up. And like so many students in my position, we don't give up when we're met with challenges. We meet the challenges and keep going. And I encourage every one of you to support 705, because it gives students like me and students who are not able to speak or articulate what their struggle is, it gives them an opportunity to advance their education and come back and contribute to the state of California. So I am strongly urging all of you to be in support of 705, because this gives us opportunities that, if you just give us a chance to play on this team, on the California team, we can show you what we're made of. We are brilliant people. We have a lot to contribute. And I ask you, support 705.
Right here. Okay, one more step. One more step. Squeeze right here.
Thank you, Ruth. That was exceptional. And I'm not sure if she mentioned it, but Ruth is now working in Pro Tem Steinberg's office. Lucky him. Hopefully someday she'll come to my office. The next speaker is a student at Skyline College and the College of San Mateo, Sarah Funes. Sarah.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here. My name is Sarah Funes. I'm currently attending Skyline College, but have been attending College of San Mateo since 2010 for the majority of the time. I'm a student with a disability. I'm 21 years old. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2002, had my resection in 2003, and became physically disabled, visually impaired, and added another learning disability to my struggle. So overall, I have one visual disability, 2 learning disabilities, 2 physical disabilities, and I struggle every day, but I'm succeeding. I'm planning on applying in the fall to UC Berkeley and transferring there and leaving with my AA. I urge everyone to please support 705. This is a really important bill. It gives people like us the chance of fair break to contribute back to this wonderful state. The passage of Prop 30 let people have their voice heard, that this was important, that education should matter, and it shouldn't be touched and shouldn't be taken away. The DSPS is an access to all these classes, all these services. I've experienced books that are given to me well after the semester has started, because the alternative media person can't do all the work themselves and can't afford to hire student workers to help supplement and ease the load. I've also experienced the fact that I can't take tests with my class because the DSPS closes early on Fridays because they can't remain open. And finally, I have mobility issues, and due to the way I walk, because of my leg, I had to walk all over CSM for 2 years. Finally, my back gave out, and I had to get a Segway as a mobility device. There has never been a shuttle service between campuses or between buildings, and that led to very difficult circumstances for myself. That's not acceptable. Also, there's never been tutoring from the DSPS, ever. I didn't even know it existed.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. You know, it's clear that students like Ruth and Sarah need the funding, do well with the assistance. More importantly, though, they have a right to the funding. Now we'll hear from two EOPS students. The first is Sacramento City College student Sammy Sanchez. Sammy?
Hi, my name is Sammy. I'm an EOPS student at Sacramento City College. I'm a former foster youth. I'm also a DSPS student. I benefit from receiving support and accommodations through these programs. I'm a sociology major. I have been in EOPS since the spring of 2008. This is my last semester in EOPS, and I hope to transfer soon to Long Beach State University and earn a degree in sociology and eventually become a college counselor to help others the way that I have been helped. I'm here to ask you to please restore funding to EOPS and DSPS programs across the state. When I started in EOPS in the spring, there were many services. There were many services and support for students in the program. When I was able to see my counselor when I needed, anytime. And as a former foster youth with little to no support from outside people, the opportunity to walk into EOPS and see my counselor and ask for advice is extremely helpful. EOPS counselors keep you on track and focus. Sometimes you feel like you need to drop a class or a course because things become too hard. If you go in and talk to your EOPS counselor, they'll reassure you that everything is fine, and if you need tutoring, they can help you find it. But because of the budget cuts, that is no longer available. Also, over the last several years, book prices keep going up, and it is uncommon to pay $200 for one book. Sometimes they sell more books because they sell it for more money because they give you a CD or a work packet that the teacher doesn't often use. EOPS is used to be able to help with books, and I could buy 2 or 3 with the stipend that they had in 2008. But since then, with the EOPS funding and the book stipend that I get now, I'm only barely able to buy 1. Money for tutoring was eliminated, and now sometimes there are no tutors for classes that we need. There used to be EOPS students tutoring other EOPS students, which gave us the hope that everything, even though it's hard now, we can succeed because they were receiving an A or B in the class. It gave me more hope to know that I could learn these things just as they did. EOPS students know the importance of the EOPS program. Counseling hours, book assistance, and tutoring for all EOPS students helps us become successful. We don't want handouts, we want a hand up. Please reinvest fully in the EOPS and DSPS programs to make sure that these students who need support can get the help that they need to be successful. Also, putting back the money in EOPS and DSPS will help thousands of more students because EOPS open their doors to more students that need help. I work for EOPS on a daily basis, so students often come in and ask if they can join the program, and we have to turn them away because there's no more funding. If we get the funding back, we'll be able to serve 1,600 students versus the 950 that we serve at Sac City. In conclusion, I just wanted to ask you guys to please fully reinvest in the EOPS, DSPS programs across the state. Because EOPS and DSPS changes people's lives. I know because they have helped me. They're my biggest support team. It is because of them and the staff in their offices that I haven't given up on my education. We are all California's future, so please reinvest in the EOPS and DSPS programs across the state. How do you spell student success? 4 letters, EOPS and DSPS. Thank you. And the next speaker is a very personal friend of mine, C. Vang.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is C. Vang. I represent EOPS student at Sacramento City College. I am a sociology major. I got accepted into EOPS the spring semester of 2010. With this opportunity being in EOPS as an underrepresented minority, I'm the first one in my family to go to college to achieve higher education, first generation college student. It has given me the resources. It has given me the resources which allowed me to transfer. This is my last semester in EOPS and my last semester at Sacramento City College. It has given me opportunity to transfer to many universities. I've been accepted to UC Irvine, UC Davis, Sacramento State. These are just a few that I've been accepted to. And without EOPS and the services it have given me, I would not be where I am today. It has allowed me to use the resources for 2 years that I've been with EOPS. The services that EOPS has offered me allowed me to obtain the success I have today in being a successful student and transferring within a certain amount of years. By eliminating these resources today, it eliminates opportunities, students who look just like me, to obtain higher education. These resources have aided me in success in education, and it strips away people that looks like me with these services that it offers. Today, I have utilized these resources. By these resources being cut and stripped away from EOPS and DSPS students, it strips away future students who looks just like me. It eliminates these programs that offer students these opportunities, future students who can utilize these opportunities within community college to obtain that higher education, to move on and succeed and transfer. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
You know, I can't say much better than the students did, but our last student talked about future students. And coincidentally, today we have foster youth here visiting the Capitol. One of the foster youth who's with me is here today. And they're going into offices talking about their needs in the foster program. But as they age out of the foster program, they will be heading, many of them, to community colleges and to universities. And it's important not just for those behind me now who are the current students and faculty and staff, but as you said, for the future students, the future faculty, the future staff, that we have these services available. We've done horrible things in Sacramento, cutting higher education in all segments because we've had to, because the money just hasn't been there. Well, now's the time. There are dollars available now. Now's the time to restore what we can. The chart to my right shows just how devastating cuts have been to EOPS and DSPS over the last several years. And we say to the governor, we urge the governor, now that the resources are there, now that California is getting back on its feet, now that California is heading in the right direction, listen to these students. Listen to what they're saying. They deserve your help. Indeed, they have a right to your help. And with that, for members of the press, we'll be open to individual questions if you'd like to ask them. Myself, Chairwoman Bonilla, and other members up here. Thank you all for your time and your attention. And thank you guys. You were great.